What do you think, Skiz, is the most quotable movie that you frequently quote from?
What a question.
Do you have one? Or are you just like all over the place?
Honestly, dude, there are like Dumb and Dumber comes to mind. That's an incredibly quotable movie. The Big Lebowski is very, very quotable.
Yeah.
Office Space might be the number one, if possible.
Yeah.
So good.
That is good.
Bob's Burgers. I talk about Bob's Burgers a lot. That is my go-to show, dude.
Bob's Burgers.
Here's the deal about Bob's Burgers, everybody. H. John Benjamin is hilarious, and his voice acting he's not even acting. It's just how he talks. I just love it so much. Everything he does, I love it so much. And the show is
he's kind of like deadpan, isn't he? More or less.
He's super deadpan, yeah, but it just works, right? And and what's funny is it depends on his character. Like, in every character he really has three characters I can think of. He's Bob in Bob's Burgers. He's Archer in Archer, and he also is the comic book guy on Family Guy. And comic book guy, there's no inflection ever. But Archer and Bob and Bob Belcher, there is a little bit of inflection change when things are excited. Anyways, I really like him. I really like H. John Benjamin. I think he's hilarious. Now the cartoon Bob's Burgers is cute and fun and everything, but don't let your guard down, man, because it will tug at some heartstrings every now and again. It's one of those shows, dude, where it's just so well written and the stories themselves they can be so moving sometimes, dude. Like, it's going to sound crazy, but there's this episode where Linda is Bob's wife, and the show starts and Bob comes down and they're having breakfast and they're like, "Dad, you look good today." He's like, "I do." And they're like, "Yeah, I don't know what it is." And they realize your hair looks like full or something. He's like, "Well, I did try this new shampoo that was in the shower." And Linda's like, "Well, I was going to try that." And she's like, "When I found that, I was going to try it." He's like, "What do you mean you found it?" And she found this shampoo by the dumpster. And so the worst part is that she ends up finding it. She found it by the dumpster outside of the morgue. So it belonged to an old lady that had passed, right? And you're like, "Oh my gosh." Oh, no. And so Bob is like, "Oh my God." And he's like, "Linda, don't do that." He's like, he's giving her static or whatever. Anyways, bottom line is, as the show goes on, he runs a burger joint and this family comes in and they speak a different language. And the old man recognizes the smell as he walks by and they realize, "Oh my gosh." And they realize this belonged to his wife who just passed. And he asks, it's so crazy to say this, and I'm not, I'm butchering it, but he basically asks if he can smell Bob's head. And it sounds like it's silly and it's funny, but the way they execute that scene it's almost hard to watch because it's so moving. Like I can't explain it. They do this thing where it's almost like a bait and switch where you think you're watching this silly cartoon and then they just twist your heart up with really meaningful narrative, dude. Those writers should be pretty proud. That's hard to do, Yeah,
that sounds good. Sounds like a good show.
Yeah, great show, man.